Good morning, mathematicians. So today in our math lesson, we're going to be talking about regrouping. You guys should be getting really good at this. We've been doing it for a while this year. Okay, so let's just go back and review a little bit. Let's remember that when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ones, those can be regrouped, okay, to make a 10. All right, 10 ones make a 10. Okay, and we think about that when we are adding. Think about that when we are adding in that regrouping of ones. Okay, 8 plus 9, remember, equals 17. I leave my 7 ones there in the ones place. Okay, and I take those 10 ones and move them over here to the tens place. I regrouped and stuck 10 of those ones together and was able to make a 10 out of them. Okay, 7 ones is not enough to make a 10, so it stays in the ones place. Well, we can also do it with our hundreds, and that's what we're going to be working on today. We're going to be working on turning tens into hundreds. So let's think back. Let's think back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll put this one over here, 10. So let's think about how much 10 tens is. Remember that I took 10 ones to make this 10. So there are 10 ones here. So I have 10 ones, 20 ones, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 ones. And how many tens was that again? It was 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens, 8 tens, 9 tens, 10 tens. 10 tens is the same as 100 ones or 1 100. Okay? If I put 10 of those tens together, that makes one of these 100 flats. 10 tens is the same as one of those 100 flats. Also, we can write it as 100, okay, which means 100 ones. Okay, it takes 100 ones to equal that. All right. So that's what we're going to be working on today in this lesson, is taking our tens and turning them into these hundreds. Remember that 10 tens makes 100, so 20 tens, 200, 30 tens, 300s, 40 tens, 400s, 50 tens, 500s, 60 tens, 6 of those hundreds, 70 tens, 700s, 80 tens, 800s, 90 tens, 900s, 100 tens is 10 hundreds, which is the same as 1,000. Remember that 1,000 cube I showed you guys earlier, okay? So remember, we don't say 100 hundreds. I'm still seeing some of you guys write this as 100 hundred. That doesn't make any sense. We don't want to say 100 hundreds. That would be like having 100 of these, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at our lesson for today. It's lesson 8-4. Okay, lesson 8-4. We're going to be regrouping tens as hundreds. That's our objective today. Regroup tens to make a new 100. Remember, I can take 10 of those tens and stick them together and make a new 100. Okay, so pay attention to this, because some of you guys struggled on your math test on being able to show me this sort of thing. Okay, so it says Jared brings 2 packages of 100 napkins to a picnic. Cody brings 13 packages of 10 napkins and 9 single napkins. How many napkins do they bring to the picnic in all? Remember that when you have 100 of something, that's one of these. He brings 200 packages. So he brings 2 of these hundreds. Cody brings 13 packages that have 10, so he brings 13 tens. So imagine that as being 13 of these 10 sticks. And then he also has 9 single napkins. Imagine those as being your little ones cubes, okay? And so they modeled it down here. 2 of those hundreds, 13 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 ones. That's those 13 tens. I'm sorry, not to 13 ones, 13 tens. 9 ones. Those 9 single napkins is 9 ones. We know that 10 tens can make 100. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to regroup or group 10 of these tens and turn them into this 100 here. Once we draw that circle around it, it's now a 100 block. And the tens don't exist. Those 10 tens are now 100. So there's still 3 tens there. So now I have 100, 200, 3 of those hundreds, 3 tens still, and I didn't mess with my 1, so I still have 9 ones. If I have 3 of those hundreds, 3 tens, and 9 ones, that's 300. 3 tens is 30. 9 ones is 9, so they bring 339 napkins in all. Okay, so we'll be working on that today, guys, that regrouping. If you need to draw a picture, it's okay. If you need to still have that picture of it, it's not a big deal. Do that, guys, okay? When you see that it changes colors like it did here, that's the regrouped blocks, okay? So it says regroup. So they already did the first one for you. They took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tens, and they turned them into this 100 right here. So they started with 2 of those hundreds blocks, 11 tens, and 5 ones. Now, once they've regrouped, there's the 10 tens they regrouped. So how many hundreds do I have now? I have the 2 I started with plus that 1 right there. I now have 3 hundreds, 1 10, and 5 ones. All right, so let's take a look at the next page. 2 hundreds, 11 tens, and 1 1. Let's go ahead and draw that one out on our whiteboard to give you guys an example of what it looks like. And if you need to do this, guys, get your whiteboards and do it. Okay, it said I have 2 of those hundreds. So imagine 2 of those hundreds, 11 tens, and 1 1. One of those 1 cubes. Okay, so I need to draw that. Remember, I represent my hundreds as those squares, those flats, because this is what 100 looks like. I have 2 of those. 11 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 1 1. Remember, when I have 10 tens, I can turn them into 100. Let me show that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, because that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 cubes to make that. All right, and so what do I have now? How many hundreds do I have now? I have 1, 2, 3 of those hundreds. I still have this 1 10 and 1 1. So that's what I will write in my book. And I can picture that regrouping. I took those 10 tens and moved them to the hundred side. So now I have 3 hundreds, the 2 I had plus the 1 that I regrouped, 1 10 and 1 1. All right, guys, so you're going to continue working on this page. Remember to draw a picture if you need to. Down here, you need to think about how many hundreds, tens, and ones Jessica started with before she regrouped, and then explain how you know. Continue to work on 8-4 on page 355 and 356 as well. If you have any questions about this, you can find me on Zoom at 10 a.m. or again tonight at 7. Have a great day, mathematicians.